Hey there, I'm Max, and this is Turbo. Turbo.
Max, we did it! We won! We won the race! The Vroom 500!
Yeah, we did. The whole team really rallied together. You know, we've been through so much during this tournament.
You're not kidding. From cars without engines to being covered in mud.
Losing races and sometimes wanting to totally give up.
I'd say we've had our fair share of failures that could have stopped us right in our tracks.
You're telling me, sometimes I felt like I had failed the whole team and there would be no way to make it right.
Same here, dude. I totally know that feeling.
When I felt like that, I remembered a story in the Bible about someone who could probably relate.
I bet he thought his failure was the end of the road.
His name was Peter. Here, take a look. Peter was one of Jesus' disciples. That meant that everywhere Jesus went, he would follow. Peter also helped other people know more about who Jesus was and how he wanted them to live. Well, one night, Peter and some of the disciples were out fishing, but they couldn't catch a thing. They were so frustrated. They tried all night long, but by the time the morning came, their nets were still empty. That's when they noticed a man standing on the shore. He yelled out to the guys on the boat, "Did you catch any fish?" No one realized that it was Jesus standing there, so they casually shouted back, "No!" Jesus then told them to toss their net on the other side of the boat. So Peter and the disciples tossed their net to the other side, and when they pulled it back up, the net was busting at the seams, full of fish to eat. They couldn't believe their eyes. As soon as they caught all of those fish, one of the other disciples told Peter that the man talking to them was actually Jesus. Peter was so happy to see that it was Jesus that he didn't even wait for the boat to go to shore. He just jumped into the water and swam straight to him. Jesus had prepared a fire for them on the shore and told them, "Bring some of the fish that you caught." Then they sat together and had breakfast with Jesus. When they were finished eating, Peter and Jesus started talking. Jesus asked Peter, "Do you love me?" "Of course I do," Peter told him. Jesus asked Peter that same question a total of 3 times. This made Peter sad because it reminded him of the 3 times that he had denied even knowing Jesus. Jesus was being arrested and put on trial because many mean people didn't like him. They didn't want Jesus telling the world that he was God's son and came to save them. That would have been a great time for Peter to show his love to Jesus. But instead, Peter pretended like he didn't even know him. He had failed Jesus by lying about not being his disciple. He probably felt like Jesus would never want to see or hear from him again. But Jesus' love never failed Peter, and there he was, having breakfast with him on the beach. Even though Peter had failed Jesus, he knew that Jesus still loved him no matter what. Nothing Peter did or could do could change the love Jesus had for him.
Let's race through that again.
Peter was fishing with the other disciples.
They couldn't catch any fish.
Someone was talking to them from the shore.
It was Jesus.
He helped them catch a ton of fish.
Peter jumped right out of the boat to talk to Jesus.
They had breakfast together.
Jesus asked Peter if he loved him.
3 times.
Peter realized even though he pretended not to know him,
3 times!
Jesus still loved him. Nothing Peter did could change the love that Jesus had for him.
And the same goes for us.
Max, it doesn't matter if we hit a dead end sometimes, because Jesus' love never fails.
Man, I can't wait for our next tournament. Who knows what's in store for the Good Loves Racing team, but I know it's going to be great.